Right. Here we go. Good. Should have the stream set up. Everything should be going. I should not accidentally be opening a different recording program. That would be done. Is Maid in the chat yet? I guess one moment while I just clear my nose. Yeah, there we go. Just waiting for Maid to get here, because I'm curious as to what Maid would like to see. Part of the reason why I'm doing the stream is, well, partially because hey, there you go. Hey, Maid. So, I'm going to get started on creating a character for this. So, there's 5 different species. We have Char, human, Norn, which are basically just tall human, Asura, and Silvari. Which one would you like to see with this? We've also got 9 classes, which I'll ask you which of those you'd like to see as well. I would like get a kind of effect going on where it looks like all of them are highlighted at once if I do this fast enough. I gotta keep Norn almost perpetually highlighted. No, the race doesn't influence the class at all. They're like, it's just a case of picking your appearance. There are some racial skills, but racial skills don't really matter. They're more just a kind of little cute fluff thing, but you can do some cool, interesting stuff with them. Like have a warrior that can pull out a fucking seed turret, but for the most part, they're very minor. Okay, I like being a Char, so I'm going to be a Char. So I'll just go with female. I'm just going to go with whatever it asks me. Now, the classes are where things really matter and stuff. So there's warriors, guardians, revenants, rangers, thieves, engineers, necromancers, elementalists, and mesmers, as you can see. Ah, yes, hence the name with it. So, these are effectively the 3 mage classes: necromancer, elementalist, and mesmer. They're all like your sort of light armor mages. Though that being said, guardians have got some magic stuff as well. Revenants are kind of like mages with these like mist things, like it says magic wielding fighter here, kind of like a spell sword. Oh yeah, I'll show off Mesmer for you then. I'm just going to pick that, and I'm going to skip straight to the end of character creation. Because I have a thing which I do. Basically once every week you can get a Black Lion chest key for doing the level 10 story. And so I have a character slot which I just dedicate to doing that. To just repeatedly doing that every week.
I respect no authority but the clenched fist of my legion. With engines of destruction, we have killed our gods. We reclaimed our homeland of Ascalon, and we planted victory banners on the graves of our enemies.
So, see, this is the story. This is the stuff that your race affects. That is your story.
At any cost.
In particular, your early story. Oh, we got with the Ash Legion. It randomizes if you go skip to end.
The Ash Legion. I am the blade in the darkness. I've earned the respect of my comrades and forged alliances I can call on in times of need. My legion teaches stealth, patience, deception. We fight where the Citadel commands, but only to aid the Ash Legion's cause. Today, the Black Citadel's combined army will assault the ghosts that plague this land.
It's different for each race.
I have been assigned
So like
to reinforce the bulwark.
So for instance, with Char,
The Blood Legion
what
charge
you
blood
pick,
into their death.
you pick a number of different things with each race, but there's always two things that will affect the story.
Find me in the shadows. This is my story.
So, with Char, what you pick, so with literally every single, like, race, no matter what you do, you're gonna pick your class, you're gonna pick how you look, obviously. You'll also pick between, which trait represents you, charm, for, like, dignity, ferocity, or charm, or something like that. Those options do not matter at all. They are from a, like, different time. I'm gonna just hide my face stuff because I don't tend to like using faces. Here's something really neat, by the way, Mage, which you'll probably like. You unlock dies account-wide, and they stay permanently unlocked once you've unlocked them. And you can just do them on any character, whatever you like. So I'm gonna go and just, like, throw some, nice looks onto this stuff. Let's get some pink going on here. Actually, let's do this way around instead. Get some ruby red here. Yeah, there we go. I mean, yeah, it's so good. In terms of skins for your character, you also unlock skins account-wide. Unlike dyes, skins are not free to change. They will cost a transmutation charge. I have passively earned 266 transmutation charges from playing. If you spend them a lot, you will not keep as many as I've got here. Like, I barely ever spend them. Like, so, you know. As a result, I don't end up keeping much around, but, you know, let's spend some now just to get myself a nice, like, fancy outfit. There we go. This isn't gonna stick around for long because I'm gonna really quickly replace my gear. But all of the skins are unlocked account-wide. It just costs you a bit of gold to, not gold, transmutation charges to replace them. This, you'll see all this shit in my inventory here. Ignore this. You're not gonna have any of it. This is like account-wide stuff that I've earned, or like, some of it I've bought with, like, real money. Like, some of it because I like this game a lot. I've a couple of times actually paid for gems. But you can turn gold into gems. It's not at a great exchange rate if I open up the thing here for it. As you can see, I would need 159 gold to get 400 gems. But basically there's, like, well, it's not a premium package is the thing made. Like, this is just stuff you can, like, buy with gems in the game, and you can convert them back and forth whatever you like. I've also won a raffle after buying a bunch of gems, which is so funny to me. It's like, oh yay! I went and I was like, oh, I got a bunch of money from like a not tax rebate, what's it called? Like, I'd gone taxed more than I'd been supposed to. So it's like, you know, I'll spend like $50 to get a bunch of gems and buy a bunch of stuff on, like, a bunch of character slots. And then after that, I fucking win a raffle which is for 8,000 gems, which is $100 worth. And it's like, well, fuck me. I could have waited literally 2 days and I wouldn't have needed to do that. So instead I just have 8,020 gems lying about. Oh gosh. But yeah, so key difference though with this game and WoW is that this game's a lot more, like, kind of real time with its combat. Like, I mean, WoW is, most MMOs technically are real time, but they kind of operate on a pseudo turn-based system. Like, you have all your abilities with their cooldowns and stuff like that, and like, you just kind of select an enemy to attack and trade blows with them, more or less. With this, your movement's actually going to matter if enemies can miss you, and you can dodge roll to get the fuck away from things.
What's so important that the Blood Legion Tribune is there?
Ghost of Caberea is far more powerful than we thought. His army just broke through our defenses. Gridlock's about to fight him head on.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Hey, don't worry, mate. Just because I'm no huge fan of Dark Souls doesn't mean that like comparisons to it aren't useful. Now, one of the things which I really like as well about this is that every single so this is true for every character you play as, for every class and stuff, is that you always have a dedicated healing skill. Like, you have a slot in your abilities which is dedicated to healing. As you can see, I have here Ether Feast, which is takes 1 second for me to cast and has a 20-second cooldown. I hadn't taken any damage there, so there's no point in me using it, but I figured may as well show you what a cooldown is like. You can see that it says gain additional health for each active clone. That is a mechanic which we have not got into yet. We'll unlock it as we go further, because you unlock your class's mechanics a bit later. Right now I've just got a sword with which I stab things magically. Again, this will change, because one of the things which is really cool to me about Guild Wars 2 is that you can see here, like, I have a bunch of locked slots here which you can see are going to unlock pretty early. And then some later on ones here. So these 5 slots are determined by which weapons you're wielding. I am wielding a sword right now. That's the one Mesmers start with. But every class has a fairly good range of weapons. Elementalist and Engineer don't have that many weapons, but they make up for it with their own unique stuff. So, like, you'll see when I get a different kind of weapon other than a sword, you're gonna see, how having a different weapon changes up your abilities. Pun. It's a really cool mechanic. To me. God, I'm hiccuping now. Ah.
Stand down. Get your orders. No one goes into
Look at it. Yeah, this here. There's a player here which is an engineer. See, engineers have a very limited range of weapons. They can use either a pistol, shield, or rifle. However, engineers make up for that. Oh, yeah, engineers make up for their lack of like different weapons by having access to this ability, these things called engineering. Oh god. They have access to a bunch of things called engineering kits, which what they do is they let you basically you see here there's these slots here which you unlock later. One of these slots an engineer can use for an engineering kit, which what it does is it lets them just switch to a completely different weapon. And those weapons for engineers are entirely different to everyone else's. Because engineers can switch to things like grenades, bombs, rocket launcher, flamethrower, potion gun, or just a fucking wrench with which you beat people over the head with. Okay, yeah, so mages can use, mages there's, Elementalist, which is kind of your more archetypal mage. Elementalist can use staff, scepter. Scepter's kind of like a one-handed staff. They can use a focus in their offhand. Or they can use daggers if they want to get all up and close with melee and stuff. Now, the class which I'm playing as, Mesmer. Mesmers can use swords, great swords, which, believe it or not, great swords for Mesmers are actually a ranged weapon. I'll show you that when we get to it. Scepters and staves, much like the what's it called? Much like elementals can. Let me think. What else can Mesmers can use focuses as well, and Mesmers can use pistols, but only in their offhand. So they can't be auto attacking with a pistol, but they can occasionally like pull it out to fire like a spectral bullet or something. Hopefully I'll be able to show you. Like I said, all of them have got different abilities. Makes it really cool. Means that there's a lot of experimentation you can do in the game.
I heard what you did down in that crypt, soldier. Impressive.
And yeah, the game's like entirely voice acted, I should mention. Like,
Don't sell yourself short.
There's a couple things where you like talk to people and select options which aren't voice acted. But like outside of that, everything is voice acted. It's insane.
People are still on edge though. It'd help if they saw someone like you making the rounds, lending a hand. The quicker we get this place squared away, the sooner the legions can get back to business. You can help.
I feel liking what you're seeing so far, Mage.
But if I have to
Mage.
issue an order,
Mage. That's such a stretch. Oh my god.
I hereby volunteer.
Okay. This here's mounts. Mounts are account wide, which is why I have access to all of these. You will not, so we're not going to use them. I tried to make a pun out of maid and mage. Mage. No. There is no need for ammo. If you have a rifle, you're just set with that. You don't need to worry about that.
Come talk to me.
Yeah. It is honestly really nice not needing to worry about ammo. Like you had to worry about ammo. It's okay. So as you can see, we hit level 2. We have a new ability now, with the sword, which is a bunch of rapid swings while we become unable to be hit. But we got a new weapon type. This is a scepter. It is magic-y.
Smokestead lies outside the Black Citadel on land.
So you can talk to these people and they'll tell you, they'll give you a bit of the lay of the land and tell you where you can go to help out.
Facing resistance from the Flame Legion and an infestation of Ascalonian ghosts. The legions need every soldier to do his or her part.
Yeah, so
Hey, come talk to me.
so because we're using magic stuff here, we're gonna have ranged attacks. So here's what I was saying about how like it's a lot more about exploration. So this is kind of what stands in for quests, which is you go to an area and you have this heart task pop up. So like we can progress this heart task by going and flattening these worm mounds, which sometimes spawns on enemies. So here's the thing which we were seeing earlier with it is yeah, exactly. Sometimes we'll have events. This isn't a big event. This isn't one of those events as such. This is just a heart task. Our ability over here, by the way, is that we block for a moment. If the enemy hits us, we block the attack and summon in a clone. Do we summon in 2 clones? We summon in 2 clones! Holy shit, they buffed this move! Oh my god, it's even better! Ha ha ha! So, I should mention, Mesmer's whole thing is they summon clones. And the Scepter is like the best weapon in the game for it, because every 3rd auto attack you summon in a new clone. And now, this, if you like block an attack with it, it summons in an extra clone. Oh my god! They even... Okay, so here's the thing. With this block move here, I can release it early by pressing it again, and it flies out a bolt. Now, it didn't used to, but now it also makes it that bolt summons a clone. This has gotten buffed so much. And also I should mention, in a weird way, necromancers, despite being a mage, are one of the tankiest classes. Because the necromancer's mechanic, which is this thing called a death shroud, effectively gives them a second health bar. It's disgusting, and I love it. See, so when you beat the, when you complete the heart task, you get a bunch of experience, as you just saw. You also get a bit of gold, a bit of karma, which, karma is a resource which you can spend. You also, the heart task person becomes a vendor as well, which you can use the karma you just got to buy some stuff if you'd like. Accessories, or weapons, you know, you also got a bag for leveling up. So you can use to get a bit more bag space. True. Yeah, the Necromancer's Death Shroud is a cool thing where, like, when things nearby you die, you generate Death Shroud, which you can then take the Death Shroud, you can then use... You generate life force from nearby things dying. And once you unlock your class mechanic, you can use that life force to go into a second health bar, where nothing can hurt your first health bar, you take a bit of reduced damage, and also have a completely new set of quite powerful abilities. So like, as you can see with this heart task, I've got a number of different options for it. I can fire off, I can just fire these cannons and that will do it. So okay, no. Every race goes at the exact same speed. What happened there specifically, this person here is a revenant. Well, specifically they are a herald, which is a kind of revenant that gives out buffs passively. I walked close to them while they had those buffs on, and one of them is a movement speed buff. I'm gonna just kill these to get some hard task progress. And yeah, so every race moves the exact same speed, just there's buffs which you can do for... It's more class-based as to whether you're going to have a lot of those buffs readily available. But basically there's a buff called Swiftness, which makes you move 33% faster. So there's this person here called Simon Blackgut, and you can basically go like, isn't your name a human? Isn't your, like, a human name? And he's just like, look, if you don't want to talk about it, if that's all you care about, just bugger off. Because as you can see, a lot of people have got, a lot of the named NPCs have got names like, you know, Sploder Thunderflash, or Titus Gearclaw. This is just an easy way to do this. I'm glad you're liking the look of it so far. So now we have a third ability unlocked, which for the scepter is laser. By the way, so you remember what I was saying about how there's challenges? There's some challenges you'll have to do. When something has this symbol above it, or as you can see on the map, it has this symbol. Let me move off of it so that you can see it better. On the map, it will have this symbol. This here means that they are a hero challenge. You'll need to level up a bit to unlock these, by the way. Same thing with Vistas. But after that, once you've unlocked them, you can, like, basically talk to these people. Go like, yeah, I want to fight you. They'll become an enemy. And then you just beat the shit out of them. Or it's not always beating the shit out of them, by the way, I should mention. Some of the hero challenges are just, like, getting to a difficult place. Or like, or just solving a riddle or something. Like, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of things. And basically, like, these are another thing which you do where once you've done them, you'll get a bunch of experience. Not quite as much as a heart task, but it's something. There's also these things which are points of interest. You want to try and go out of your way to find all of those in a map. Look at how much damage the fucking laser does. It's so strong. They keep buffing this move. Because when you find a point of interest, again, bunch more experience. As you can see, killing a regular enemy also gives a fair amount of experience, honestly. Like, oh, one of my clones angered this Scrit. And then I lasered him. That's the honestly neat thing with this is how, like, killing regular enemies is just, like, good for experience. Like, it's not, like, one of the things with playing Final Fantasy XIV, which I forgot about most MMOs, is that killing regular enemies so often is just worthless. Like, you kill a level 50-something enemy in Final Fantasy XIV, and it gives, like, 400 experience. That's, like, 400 out of 1.6 million that you need. And, like, that's so bad. Like, this game, I think at the, like, max level is, like, 500,000 experience you need, and an enemy gives, like, 3,000. So it's like, and that's without any of the potential things that boosted up. So this way here, they want me to defeat Flame Legion and deactivate unexploded mortar shells. Which of these, and sometimes Flame Legion will spawn when I deactivate them. Sometimes they won't. That's just the way things go. I believe there's also like a test mortar which you can fire. This laser is so disgusting. It's just literally something spawns and I'm just like, no, unexist yourself. Oh, this move is so good. The rest of the moves aren't bad, but why is this mortar firing in that direction? That feels like the wrong direction for this mortar test. Hey, Flame Legion Stalker, I saw you were existing. It's so good. Oh, yeah. So there are a number of those. There are these things called world bosses, which are basically big things that, like, they're big enemies which, some of them are harder to kill than others, but basically, there's gonna be a shit ton of people around an area where a world boss is, and you're all gonna be working together to take down this massive fuck-off boss. You'll also get a bunch of experience and stuff for killing it. Sometimes there's, typically, there's some events surrounding it as well, which you're gonna have to do to fight the world boss. Probably. I don't know. I have no idea. But, there's also, though, we haven't encountered an event yet, but, events are kind of like quests that will like I mentioned, they're sort of like fates. And sometimes you'll encounter a group event. Now, group events are designed to be fought with more than one person. But, that being said, you can still handle them on your own, if you're good enough. Because they can be pretty rough sometimes. Sometimes they can be just flat out, no, you cannot beat this on your own. Like, you need people with you. But most of the time, if you're capable enough, you can manage. You piece of shit! You evaded my big laser of killing you! Attack me. Attack me and summon clones to kill you. I haven't fought them yet. Laser of death time! Huh. Oh, they evaded the last hit, but confusion got the best of them. Oh yeah, so one of the things I should mention is you've probably noticed all these little things that are appearing below the enemies. So the thing with Mesmers, these are conditions. Basically, Torment does damage, Confusion also does damage. Most conditions deal damage, but there are some like Cripple, Chill, stuff like that which don't do damage. But basically, you've got weapons divided into two kinds of categories, which are raw damage, which is just, you know, hits you really hard in the face and stuff, or condition damage, which is these damage over time type things. Sometimes it also hits you in the face really hard, like this laser, but basically they operate off of two different stats. This is improved by condition damage, while my regular just raw smacking them about is improved by power, and also precision and ferocity. Precision increases crit chance, ferocity increases crit damage. I wish ferocity didn't exist. It feels kind of like a dud stat, but at the same time, like, if you're building precision, you're building ferocity, you may as well not have both. You may as well merge them into one stat, or just remove ferocity, triple base damage, and then have tanks be not barely able to do any damage. Because as much as I love tanking in this game, and I personally don't mind too much the loss of damage, it would be a lot nicer if they had some more damage to their name. Yeah, you get to pick your stats, and every single stat is worthwhile. Hey, here's an event that just spawned. So this is just the Fen event. We've got a bunch of weapon parts here. Flame Legion's gonna come and try to take them. We say no. Oh, and here's our class Mechanicus and Mesmer. You know those clones we've been summoning? We can shatter them, making them blow up upon the enemies. I love that the guy just turned around and was just like, yeah, I don't want to get involved with this today. I don't use shatters nearly enough, so as a Mesmer, so do not take my gameplay here as as anything indicative of what you should do if you play Mesmer. Maybe I have another person that's coming down, but I'm gonna just... By the way, literally anyone can resurrect. You just go up to a corpse, press F on them, and start rezzing. Now, because we have another person here, there might start to have more Flame Legion come in. I don't know, because here's the thing, events scale up like Fates do. Oh, that's not an engineer. I guess the NPC we revived was an engineer. But yeah, so let me bring up the hero panel while I laser these people to death here. So you have power, which like I just said, power, precision, and ferocity, which like I said, raw damage, crit chance, crit damage. You also have toughness, which increases your defense. It says increases armor, which is, you know, defense. You have vitality, which is more health. You have the condition damage, like I was saying earlier, which means you do more damage with your damage over times. You have expertise, which makes your damage over times last longer. You also have concentration, which increases the duration your buffs last for. We don't have any buffs with our character right now, but you'll see later they're basically like yellow colored things, which we can give to ourselves to make us stronger in various ways. And there's also healing power. Which is basically what it says on the tin. Healing power makes you heal more. So, like, for each point of healing power, this would get stronger here. Which is awesome, because it means you can have, like, no matter what class you are, you can... okay. So, mounts are entirely... Mounts are free, kind of. You need to get to Path of Fire. So as you can see, more enemies are spawning because we have more people here now. Path of Fire is the second expansion in the game. By the way, you can get both of the expansions together for just $30. Really cheap. Also made, don't worry about getting the expansions because I have a number of codes. Because I got a bunch of copies of the game when it was half price. So I got the full, like, both expansions for just $15. So I can give you one if you end up playing this and really enjoying it. But basically, when you get to Path of Fire in the story, you'll end up doing a thing which will give you your very first mount. Your first mount is free. The rest of them will cost a little bit of gold in game. The game is free. The entire core game is free. But the first two the expansions aren't. But like I said, both of the expansions put together is just $30. I got them for half price, and I can give one of those to you, Maid. So there's a couple of other things with there's like also, so yeah, like so yeah, it's and trust me, there is shit tons to do in the base game still, Made. Like, the expansions are basically more story content and like some extra maps and stuff like that. But there is still so much to be done in story. Oh yeah, I'm also glad to do Armello at some point. Speaking of which, the story for this, I honestly love the story for this game. Like, it's so good. So good. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I like to do that as well. Like, sometimes I just do some like clicker heroes or something when I just feel like enjoying some just leveling time. Ah! Just knocked my bin lid over. How did I manage that? Just gonna myself some water there. But yeah, like, as you can see, because of how many people we have, there's a lot more Flame Legions showing up now. Oh yeah, so see that regeneration there which I got? That's another one of those buffs, which with concentration, those get better. Our maximum level is 80, which is base game. Here's the thing, Made, which is really cool about this. There is no gear locked behind. There is no like next level gear locked behind the expansions. There's no new level ups locked behind the expansions. Level 80 is the max level of the game, and you can get to it in core game. Like, in fact, the like end of core game is level 80. What they add on in the expansions is a thing called masteries, which allows you to do all sorts of new stuff. For instance, with a core, if you're like playing regularly, you have like, you know, like basically one of the masteries you can unlock is the ability to glide, which saves you a lot of falling to your death. Also, the mounts are masteries as well. Like, if I'll open up what the masteries look like. So, oh, I can't show you them because I'm not on a level 80 character. There is full damage. Allow me to. I'll get a Vista. I'll get the Vista over here, and then I will demonstrate full damage. So these are Vistas. This thing up ahead. You're seeing this little map thing. That's a Vista. It's something you'll need to level up a bit before you unlock the ability to see them. But at least see them on the map. But basically, you go up to them, and then you interact, and you get a nice view of the area. As the camera like pans out and shows you this really beautiful scenery that a bunch of like level designers and artists really worked hard to make look super gorgeous. Yep, this is going to give me some experience. See? Oh, I shouldn't have. I'd meant to show you full damage. One moment. I'm going to just mount up and go up here. I'm going to demonstrate full damage now properly. Full damage time! That was... Ow! And yes, full damage can kill you. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, Maid, super duper so I should mention, this game has jumping puzzles. You don't have to do any of them for any, like, story stuff. It's entirely up to you for map completion if you want to go and do them. So most of them aren't even actually needed to complete a map. There's a couple that are, but most are entirely optional and never need to be done. That being said, some of them are friggin' hellish, and if you want to do them, Mesmer is really great to have with friends for doing them. Because Mesmers can get the ability to place down a portal, which, the Mesmers get the ability to basically place portals, like in Portal. They can put one portal somewhere else where they are, then they move to like some place which everyone can get to, and then place down a second portal, and the people can just transport in between that old one and that new one. And it can be used to let people just skip jumping puzzles if you've done them. So this here is telling me how dodging works. Basically, see this red field? Walking into that would hurt and knock me about. But if you dodge roll through it, you don't get hurt. Pardon? So basically, when you're dodging, you can't be damaged. But as you can see from this bar, you only have 2 dodges before it's gonna need to recharge. And its recharge is not super fast. Though there are ways that you can make it recharge faster. Which is a really cool aspect to me. Oh yeah, we got some new clothes. Let's put that on. So now, one of the things which is also really neat with this game is crafting is... Oh, why did I walk into that? Crafting is actually super useful in this game. In fact, crafting is probably the most reliable way to get the very, very best gear. Again, gear that is available to core players. Oh, there's AoE damage. Let's switch to the sword, because here's the thing. So you see this, you see this here. This doesn't mention any targets. This is always going to hit just one enemy. But this move can hit up to 5 enemies here. Now, to manage to have this hit 5 enemies, I'm going to need to do some geometry here. So, see, we have this enemy. We're going to target this one. We're going to position this one in between us and themselves. And then, laser. And that's going to hit both of them. Which is a neat little thing you can do. I'm going to just dye my armor because this is bugging me. You can use the sort of like paintbrush thing, by the way, as you can see here, to quite easily get your dye stuff back. And if I equip the sword, one of the things you'll see is that it has a number of targets it can hit as well. So if I go and drag a couple enemies together... Axe Fiends, you want to fight me? Come on. So, my auto attacks, as you can see, are hitting both of them. As will pretty much every single move you're doing with the swords. That's the advantage that melee typically has over ranged weapons in this game, is that it's able to hit multiple targets. Sometimes ranged melee weapons will also dish out a bit more damage than ranged counterparts, but typically it's like it's a trade-off of this one can hit multiple targets, but this one has range. Oh, this is a little thing from the event going on right now, the Festival of the Four Winds. But yeah, you might have noticed occasionally that I've been going into here and clicking depositable materials, because see, there's all of these crafting materials you can get from stuff, and the neat thing is you have a thing called material storage in this, and if you click just depositable materials, bam, all of them are cleared from your inventory, and all of them go straight to that material storage, which can be accessed directly while crafting. So if you have a bunch of jute scraps in there and need to make some jute bolts, it will immediately pull those from the material storage. So you don't need to go and drag them out or anything. It makes it all nice, all neat and clean. And here's an event to kill this shaman.
I'll roast your bones as a tribute to Balefire.
How about I confuse your bones with a laser beam? Oh, we have another mesmer over here. They're attacking my clones, the fool! I'm gonna just explode all the clones. Okay, never mind, they're invulnerable. Oh, that was a bad call on my part. Whatever, laser beam number 2.
The last thing you hear is the crackling pop of your own.
Okay, so you don't need any levels to craft stuff, but you do need to pick up a profession. And those professions are... So basically, the crafting professions are Tailor, Artificer, which are the two kind of like magic-y ones. Tailor is for crafting light armor. Artificer is for crafting like your staffs, your scepters, all that stuff. There's Leatherworker, which makes medium armor. Leather armor, obviously. And Huntsman, which makes your kind of ranged weapons, your guns, your pistols. Also torches and warhorns. And then you have your Armorsmith, which makes you heavy armor. And your Weaponsmith, which makes all of your melee weapons. Your daggers, your swords, great swords, axes, all that stuff. Also shields. You've also got 2 other professions, which are Jeweler, which creates, accessories and stuff. Accessories go into, if I can find it. Accessories go into D slots. So Jeweler can make like amulets, rings, and accessories. And there's also Chef, which makes food. Food gives you buffs. It gives you like a 10% increase to experience from kills and also some stat buffs. For like up to half an hour. There's Ascended Food now, which lasts even longer and is even better. It's crazy how good Ascended Food is, honestly. It's frankly disgusting how good it is. Anyway, so I just got a new weapon. A great sword here. And by the way, I should mention you can have 2 crafting professions at once. Which, since with the expansions you have 5 character slots, and like I said, there is no level requirement to do a crafting thing, the fact that you're limited to only 2 crafting professions per character doesn't end up being much of an issue. So, so this is a great sword. How do you think that, yeah, exactly. You want to see how a greatsword works in the hands of a mesmer? Let's just go over to this person and, so this is the greatsword auto attack. You laser beam them. We can also throw a sword at them, which summons an illusion. If that will also bounce between enemies, the thrown greatsword. We can stab the ground to summon an illusory sword there, which also will cripple enemies, making them slower. And we can do this thing as well here. I was expecting an enemy to come out of that. Because I want to show what this move do. But I need something to use it on. Ah, here we are. So if I throw this at them, that summons this illusory berserker, which just spirals the fuck out onto them. Mesmers have a bunch of really interesting things to them, as you can see. Oh yeah, you can also equip swords in the offhand. As of level 6, as you can see, you unlock the offhand section. Which, different abilities exist in the offhand. So, for instance, offhand weapons are typically more defensive. If they're a defensive kind of thing, that is. Like, focus is typically a defensive. But, if you put a pistol in your offhand, it's gonna shoot things. It's not gonna be a very defensive pistol. Oh yeah, actually I'll just show off the, we got 2 great swords, god damn it. I wanna just show off what the, one of the really cool kind of fuckery abilities with the sword is. So I can use the 3 ability here to summon a clone at my target, and then I can press it again, and I swap places with the clone. Kind of. So the way it works, mate, is that the weapons are different for, like, basically I have a sword in the offhand right now. So my main hand weapons are still my, like, so my auto attack is always your auto attack is always going to be your main hand weapon. But like your skill, basically you have 3 skills in your main hand, one of those being your auto attack, the other 2 being these, and you have 2 skills in your offhand. And there's different skills for main hand and offhand. So as you see, like the sword had 3 different skills for the main hand, but if I'm in the offhand, it instead has this block move where I basically block and then riposte at an enemy. It's a pretty good move. Honestly, I have 2. I realized that with this setup, I have 2 blocks actually. And I believe the way it works is that regardless of what move you use to summon them, the illusion will always use whatever weapons you are using. So even if I've got a there's traits which there's okay, as you progress further into the game, you'll unlock these things called traits. And there's some traits for certain weapons which will make them have lower cooldowns. There's also a buff called Alacrity, which is hard to access Alacrity. Like I know a lot of classes have Alacrity as an option for them. Revenants and Mesmers are pretty much the only 2 that have it really readily available. But a fair amount have them in small ways that they can get Alacrity. And Alacrity basically reduces the cooldown. It reduces the cooldown slightly. Yeah, kind of. It's a little bit more different than that. It's more like a passive effect you have on your character. It's sort of like some of the traits with Diablo. And I guess some of them operate sort of like it.
See those flame legion down there corrupting like Veritas. There's tar everywhere. We've also got elementals emerging from the tar.
But yeah, there are ways to make your cooldowns end up going shorter for different stuff.
You two, follow me.
Yep. So an event to clear the lake of tar elementals. How did that not connect with you? But yeah, like for instance, so some traits really change up how a class can potentially play. For instance, one of my things I'm proudest of is my warrior, which is like my main character. They're the one you saw in that one picture. They're a warrior which uses a mace in their main hand and a shield in their offhand. But their thing which they do, like their big gimmick, I guess, is they have shouts which, thanks to a trait which warriors can get, heal people. No. Everything is based on class. Like you don't have to do any quests to get any skills or stuff. As you level up, you'll be able to train them. You'll see what I mean when we get to level 11. That's not a tar elemental. Why did I attack it? Where the heck are it? There's one. What are they? They're a warrior. But like, because shouts are basically like buffing kind of skills. Well, they're a bit more than like. There's a number of different shouts. There's for they're typically buff stuff. The thing that typically unifies most shouts is that they have a beneficial effect to allies and have 0 cast time or very small cast time if they have any. And warriors have got Shake It Off, which removes some conditions from allies. For Great Justice, which gives a bit of might and fury, which is basically damage buffs. On My Mark, which makes an enemy vulnerable, so they take more damage. Or Fear Me, which makes an opponent be feared, which means they'll run away from you. And you can pick up to 3 of those kinds of abilities, which are called utility abilities. And through one of the traits, all of them not only have a reduced cooldown, but they also heal. And I built my character to do a lot of healing with them. Oh yeah, so the thing I was going to say as well is you notice my inventory is getting kind of clogged up with a lot of gear and stuff right now. So if you get a salvage kit, this here is a infinite salvage kit, which I have. You can right click it and say salvage all this quality or lower, and it'll be like, do you want to salvage these items? You say accept. All of them get turned into materials, and then you can just deposit those materials. There's also these essences of luck. Essences of luck go towards magic find. Yeah. As you saw, we got a bag. You can also craft bigger bag. Oh, good. You can also craft bigger bags with any of the armor crafting professions can make bigger bags. And you can go up to 20. You can now get up to 32 slot bags, which, by the way, is bigger than your starting bag size. So what you could do is you could actually replace your starter backpack with one of the new 32 slot bags. But the 20 slot ones are probably the more reasonable thing. Oh shit, I got an achievement here. So achievements give achievement points, which go towards getting these chests, which give account bonuses, a bunch of really neat stuff. It's really cool. For 20 slots, for a 20 slot bag, it's like 10 gold, which is a fair amount. Like, that's sort of like the point where it's like, yeah, that's a cost. I know that sounds like a lot starting out, but yeah. I will tell you something, which is pretty neat though. Trading, like, if you just go into the trading post, which you won't be able to do initially, but I'll be able to do it and just send you some 8 slot bags. Oh no, like I was saying, there's so many cosmetic stuff with it. But yeah, once you have access to the trading post, if you're looking for bags, you can just go into there, quick inventory bags, search by lowest price. Look, 8 slot reinforced, 20 copper a piece. You can go and like buy 4 of them and equip all of them, and that's like an extra 32 slots. Oh, I don't think I have a maid dress for mine. I just noticed that my pants aren't colored. There's also outfits, by the way, which are like full body things. Let's see what have I got here. You don't have anything particularly good in terms of outfits. I don't tend to wear them much. But let's see what I could do. What's my closest sort of thing to a maid skirt? I do not have a huge variety of things unlocked in terms of skins, honestly. But like, what you could do is, let's see if I can find a dark dye, glossy black. Let's get a little bit of frills going on here. No, let's do like ruby red there, strawberry here. Got some nice kind of patterning going on with that. Did I just hit reset? I just hit reset, didn't I? Son of a bitch. Wait, no I didn't. No, see, see dear, this is just like, it only costs me gold to do, it only costs me transportation charges to do the different skins, which, as you can see, this is the wardrobe. Basically, whenever you salvage or equip, a skin, or basically whenever a skin becomes locked to your account in some way, you unlock it permanently across the entire account, and you can then switch over to it whenever you like, as long as you've got transmutation charges to spend. So yeah, there's all of these different kinds of things which you can do, basically. And thanks to the and I'm sure you could come up with a maid outfits in some fashion there. Like it probably wouldn't be a, you know, specifically, like it wouldn't be necessarily designed to be a maid outfit specifically, but you could definitely mix and match some gear together and create a maid outfit. I've seen some pretty, like, ridiculous, like, things that people have managed to make with this stuff. Oh yeah, also I should mention, you don't need any gathering professions. Every single class can get every profession. You can gather everything you like. All you need is a you just need to have one of the gathering things equipped for it. Oh yeah, I should open that box which I got. So, as you can see, the achievements are useful because they give you actual rewards. Like, in addition to the achievement point chests that I mentioned earlier, that achievement I got gave me a 10-slot bag, which is nice, and also 3 of these, which is good. That lets me move faster, get some extra points when gathering, gets extra resources when gathering, and I can get some increased experience from kills. Speaking of kills, I think it's time to go over here and do some kills. Killsing, I don't know, freaking brain. But yeah, see, like, I'll try and find an enemy which probably hasn't been killed by anyone. And now I'll show you what I mean about the, Oh, well, there's one. So you saw how I just killed that hyena and got, like, bonus 68 experience? That comes typically from, enemies not being killed in a while. As they don't die, they'll store up experience. And then when someone else comes along and kills them, they give it all to them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a little pro tip for... Oh, by the way, when you see someone with this icon above their head, that means you can talk to them, and you can start up an event.
We'd sneak up and assassinate our target, but that's hard to do with a bunch of rocks. So we set and trigger the explosives one at a time. Move silent, hit the target, and speak. Don't get distracted.
I'm just gonna sell some of the stuff I can't salvage.
If we destroy them, we weaken the ghosts.
Looking for volunteers. We're embarking on a mission to destroy the Decimus Stones.
Yeah. I've got my left ear won't be popped. I can just feel it like being all kind of muted, and I'm like trying to get it unmuted, but it just Oh yeah, they are typically marked on the map. I think there's a couple of things where it's sort of weird, but I don't quite know. Like they will typically be marked though. Okay, so one of the things with your clones, by the way, which you might have noticed from the occasional 0 damages you've seen, is clones do not do much in terms of actual damage. But they do apply whatever conditions you had on the first hit of your auto attack. So, me having clones out here actually means that I'm steadily applying a little bit more torment thanks to the clone attacking. Which makes clones actually really useful for condition damage characters. Especially if you're using a scepter or staff, because just... Damn, like, there's some nice things. What just hit me? Someone just attacked me there.
That's one down.
They probably got killed almost immediately, but something attacked me. Oh, might have been these. Yeah, exactly. Like, your clones are super useful to apply those to others. They're not so great in terms of just raw, flat-out damage. Though they can dish out a little bit, but it's definitely not their strong suit. There are some clones that can even buff others, like... what? By the way, something which you might enjoy... maybe a lot, is, we haven't gone a staff yet, but staffs for Mesmers are all about chaos. Like, basically the way a staff works for the Mesmer with its auto attack is it fires out a little orb. That orb will apply a random debuff when it hits an enemy. Then it will bounce to a random ally and apply a random buff to them. Then then it will bounce to an enemy again, and so on until it bounces like 3 or 4 times or something like that. And like they also and as a result, because that's their auto attack, it means their summons also do that. And they have like a Chaos Storm which applies more random debuffs, Chaos Armor which makes you get a random boon whenever you get hit. It's just random incarnate. It's awesome. Oh, I should mention that, like, because I haven't shown it yet, because we haven't got a crafting thing yet. But, oh no, that's a lot of enemies. I regret everything. I regret everything. Leave me alone. Let me heal. But, as I was going to say, what was I going to say? Fuck. It's just really good for random stuff. There's even like like with most of the weapons and stuff, there's, I believe, a trait which buffs up staff to be able to do even more. No, it's fine, mate. Like, this is part of, like, I am more than glad to answer any questions. It's just, you know, like, it is getting late here, but I can't sleep. I must stay up to, have to get roommate back home when they ask. By the way, a little really cheaty thing. I say cheaty, it's not that cheaty. But, you can just go and, like, start up helping an event and then just kind of, like, leave it be. And whether it succeeds or fails, you'll end up getting at least some credit for it. So, like, just, you know, make sure you leave at least a bit of an impact there, so that you're gonna get credit. And then just run off. It doesn't concern you anymore. Oh yeah, that's a raptor. That's actually, like, one of the first mounts you'll end up getting once you're at Path of Fire, which is quite a bit into the game. But yeah. So this here, which I'm showing you, is a very, very sneakily placed friggin' waypoint. By the way, we just unlocked water combat. People don't tend to like water combat, and I can kind of see why. It's a very different area to do fighting in. but at the same time it's kind of neat, like, I don't know. By the way, this is our final greatsword ability. We are pushing it, we push someone back. Oh god, no. I just engaged the mage by accident. That was not according to plan. By the way, the further away you get from an enemy with the greatsword, the more damage you inflict onto them. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's go back to our good old rod. Oh, we have... So we have a focus here. Yeah. So, focus can do a couple of neat things for Mesmer. It can summon a Phantasmal Warden, which will basically reflect projectiles, or at least stop them from coming in for a bit. So I can just summon that, and that will do that. It's quite damaging as well, as you can see. It can also, I can also use it to basically give myself that movement speed buff you saw earlier. It will cripple enemies that go nearby, and if I hadn't been so slow in activating it, I can also press it again to make it stop existing, but pull enemies right into it. So that's what focus can do for Mesmer. Now let's see which one of those pistols is better. Let's go with this one. So for our pistol, we can either summon a Phantasmal Duelist by just friggin' who will just proceed to unload upon an enemy. So there we go, the event back there failed. So let's unload upon this Devourer. By the way, after summoning a Phantasm, it becomes just a regular clone. Oh god, I keep hiccuping. Ah. And now the other move is one that is a lot more it's a lot better against multiple enemies, because basically I fire out a bullet. Oh, never mind, I guess it does all of them at once. Oh, okay, yeah, so up to 3 enemies. It hits up to 3 enemies, and first enemy it hits. Every single enemy gets hit with confusion. First enemy it hits gets stunned. Second enemy it hits gets dazed, and the third enemy it hits gets blinded. So, okay, cool. It's not reverse order, so it doesn't require me to hit a bunch of things. But basically, it's a pretty neat attack method. Jesus, that's so much. Yeah, unfortunately, Mesmers cannot use pistol in the main hand yet, so unloading the... Hello? You okay there? Yes! You can summon a... Yeah, that's a Phantasm. See, Phantasms basically come out and do a very special attack before they become a regular clone. Once they're a regular clone, they just, you know, auto-attack with whatever your main hand weapon was before. But for a brief period, a Phantasm is a super awesome version of a clone. It used to be different. It used to be that a Phantasm just was a better clone, basically. And that kind of made it that people didn't need to bother doing shatters, because why would you bother shattering your Phantasms? They're amazing and really damaging. So instead they made it that Phantasms now just kind of like are an opening move to a fight. Like they open really strong and then become regular clones. Though if I recall, there is a trait which you can get which makes it that it might be an elite spec one, which is something we'll get to much later if you end up enjoying the game. But if I recall, there's a trait which Mesmers can get which makes it that after a Phantasm hits, it then, after a brief delay, hits again. Which means, you know, this guy would fire once, then be like, then stun himself for a few moments, and then fire his pistol again. Which is, you know, quite useful. By the way, I should mention what daze and blind are. Blind is kind of self-explanatory. Basically, blind makes it that their next move that they make will miss. And daze makes it... Daze is basically a stun, but the enemy can still move about. I was wondering why so many enemies just spawned. Because we had someone nearby. Yes, sort of. So, bosses have a unique kind of mechanic thing to them. Which is, honestly, the way it works is quite nice. Because it doesn't... Because unlike most bosses where suddenly all of the mechanics you've used before won't work because... You know, if the boss could be stunned, it wouldn't be much of a fight. The way it works is that boss type enemies have got this thing called a defiance bar. Or as I call it, a break bar. That's just my own personal name for it, though. That's not official. And basically, what that is whenever you do a move that would stun them, it instead chips off bits of their defiance bar. By the way, this also applies to things like crippled, chilled, blind. Basically, anything that would interfere with the enemy's ability to move or hit you ends up becoming a thing that will break away at their defiance bar. And when their defiance bar hits nothing, they get stunned for a full 5 seconds and also take more damage during that period. So... Stuns become actually a damage boost against bosses, in addition to actually just stunning them. The Defiance bar will recharge over time, which is where stuff like your Cripple actually comes in very useful, because, well, Crippled allows you to quite easily just maintain whatever damage you've already dealt to the Defiance bar. Look at this person, probably built all glass cannon-y. Yeah, Signal Might. They're probably using like a meta berserker build or something. That's why they're clearing the enemies so ridiculously quickly.
You guys know how the Ascalonians became ghosts, right?
Sure.
How?
Outlaw Doomtooth's army scared them to death.
Yeah. Dual axes. Yeah, no, the Defiance mechanic is a really cool one. I don't know how well the game does of explaining it, but it's a very, very neat mechanic.
Save them from us.
That's stupid. You made that up.
Did not.
It's so.
But yeah, like, this game's got a lot of neat stuff to it, in my opinion. And as you can see, like, leveling up doesn't take too long, and honestly, like, it doesn't slow down that much either. Like, as you can see, it slowed down a bit from, where we were before, obviously. But, like, this rate actually is, like, pretty consistent from this point, like... Oh, I should grab that waypoint. Like, getting from level 79 to 80 won't take you much longer than it would getting from, like, 20 to 21. Yeah, once you get to 30, like, the dungeons are just such a good form of experience. It's crazy. Oh, by the way, this here waypoint, you see that it's kind of misleading. But, what it actually is you need to go underground back to basically where you started out, in terms of the prologue. Oi, that was very rude of you. Now you're attacking this random person here.
Practicing my growling.
I could go on like one of my ultra powerful characters to show you the dungeon. Like, I say one of mine. My one ultra powerful character. Like, I made an absolute beast of a character almost entirely by accident. Like, I was just midway through getting a change in gear, kind of. And then it was like, wow, this is one of the most powerful things. No, no, no. Okay, there is no open world PvP or anything in this game. Yeah, no one can freely kill you at all. Like for those people that want to do PvP, there is a thing called PvP, obviously, here. Oh no, oh bear. Health. Just fight my clones. Ignore me, fight my clones. I am not real. These are my clones you want to deal with. No, that isn't. That's not me. That one over there, that's me. Yes, fight them. Heal, 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 heal. There we go. And so you can do shit like that where you use the terrain to actually just make enemies go around and stuff to fight you. Oh yeah, I should show you what the torch is like as well. So I completely forgot about the existence of this. So, the torch is, like it kind of implies, a lot of burning. Also does some confusion, but, one of its more unique things, I guess, to the Mesmer is its ability to make you invisible. And then when you reappear, you burn stuff. But yeah, players can't just go up and kill you in the world. You literally would have to pick. You'd literally have to pick like PvP or World versus World to fight other people. And World versus World is it's. I don't do it much. I don't much enjoy PvP in games, but I kind of have to admit World v World is still really cool as a thing. Like, basically what World v World is there are three. Oh no, that was not a good. That bounced a lot further than I thought it was going to. But basically, there's like 3 worlds which will be pitted against each other with World versus World. And, there's a whole bunch of different, like, how do I put it? There's a number of different objectives, like towers and castles and stuff like that, which exist. And the thing is that you, the goal of World v World is basically to assault those towers and castles and take them down. And you use siege weapons to do this. Which is like, you'll be able to... Someone will use schematics to place down an area to build a flame ram or something like that. And then people contribute war supply in order to make that flame ram into an actual thing. I'm gonna just run. Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. You can't stop me. And, yeah, as there's also like, the way that you take one of them is basically each tower or keep or whatever has its own lord which you need to defeat, which is an NPC. There's a number of NPCs that protect the castle and stuff like that, but they're kind of weak when compared to an actual player. Not in terms of health, they're like really quite tanky, but they're just not very damaging compared to most players. So it's going to be up to the players to use their own fortifications and stuff to protect the towers and stuff. It's really, really cool. Like, so much neater than just having like regular PvP stuff. But like, I still can't be bothered with doing PvP with it. It comes down to a lot of a group, like people go about in these big ass groups to try to basically force down towers and turrets. And yeah. And when you're just like some random person just trying to get some neat stuff, don't really care about all of that fighting and just want to do like some World v World daily or something like that, and then you just get friggin' jumped by a massive group of people, doesn't feel great. But fortunately that, you know, is entirely optional content. Now, let's see, we're almost at level 10, which is when, basically every 10 levels you unlock story stuff. So, once we hit level 10, we're gonna unlock, the next bit of story to do. Oh, what's this? I've gotten a message. Ah, okay. I've just been informed that it may be even later. Oh. Batty just mentioned that you didn't get the code, and now looking up, I don't see the code either. The code for Armello that I meant to give you. Allow me to fix that, quickly, because, that is a big goof on my part. Sorry about that. It's okay, I can fix that during the stream. I'll give you a little, tip for this, this little heart task here, by the way. Who did I post it to then? Did I post it to anyone? No, I just didn't post it to you. Try that key, which I just sent you on Discord, made. So yeah, little, pro tip for this heart task here. You want to talk to this person? Hey Viv. You want to talk to this person here? Say that you want to try out new weapons or whatever. Then you fight one of these mowers, I believe. I think mowers work for it. So you want to fight this mower and you want to get down to about half health. Okay, this should do it. And then you just do that and start running away. You don't have to ever actually like engage with fighting this. Just run, turn around, fire the 4 ability again, run away again. Each time you press this, it does 10% of this task. So you just do this for like a minute, and you'll end up completing this heart task. This is pro strategies in play here. It's no problem. Just make sure to tell me if it works, because that might be one key that's already claimed. I can pretty much guarantee you that I do have an unclaimed Armello key, because I have so many of them. But I just don't know if that's one of them. I think it should be though. Look at this. This mower can't even get me. This is just me kiting it. It's so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. God damn. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Oh no, you got me! Nope, none of that. Just gonna keep moving away. There we go. And now that that heart's are stunned, you get to experience death. My brilliant strategies come into play very times often. Brain. That was not words, brain. That was not words at all. You're gonna see on the minimap the circle which I led the mower in for so long. Oh yeah, one of the things which I should mention, yeah, I've been tormenting that mower for a while now. So one of the things I should mention is that even just gathering gets you experience. Like you just saw there, I harvested carrots and got like 29 experience from it. This is true for crafting as well. Whenever you get a level in a crafting discipline, you also get experience. Which is so good. Like, there's so many different ways you can level up in this game, and it's really nice that it just kind of lets you do what you want to do.
I'm feeling generous.
Okay.
I think I'll find someone who wants a lesson in Blood Legion ferocity.
And I even have an idea of trying to take that to the most ridiculous extent. And that idea is, what if I went full on with roleplay and played as a civilian of whatever species I, like, pick. Ow, don't you freaking knock me down when I'm doing that. Let me just heal. Yes, go after my clones. They're much better targets than me. Or after the person that came to help. That works too, I guess. If they're helping out, I'm gonna have my clones just blow themselves up. But yeah, I'd really love this game, honestly. It's super good. Oh yeah, also something I should mention with this is you can be in 5 guilds at a time. This here's my guild, Furry Fluffs. Yee! We have a guild hall. It's in Windswept Haven, which is like a deserty kind of area. We haven't got a whole lot of active members, as you can see, but I'm always on. Well, almost, you know, I'm on when I can be, which is quite a lot, I guess, when work allows. But yeah, I really enjoy playing this game, and if you ever want, I'd be more than glad to have you. The way this works, by the way, is you pick which guild to represent, which is like what your main guild will be. Yay! Oh, Flame Legion. You shouldn't be here. Oh god, there's an event happening. Is this a Flame Legion attacking this turret up here? Oh god, what is up with the containment unit? Oh no, why is it dying? Oh dear. That's a lot of Flame Legion, holy shit. This guy just sat still and did absolutely nothing while that was going on. Yeah, there's so much of this stuff is account wide, which is really cool. Oh, now they're helping out with the ghosts, are they? No, they're still just standing still while other people protect them. Yeah, I mean, if you ever like feel like giving something a shot with it, I'm more than glad to do this game with people. This is my favorite game after all. Might I, a neat thing is that, a neat thing with this is you actually also don't have to worry much about which world you pick at the start. Like, you know, you'll pick a server to go on, but outside of World versus World, what server you pick doesn't matter at all. Because they have a thing called a mega server. Which, what that does is it basically makes it that you'll be matched with people you're friends with whenever possible. People that are like-minded and like will... If people like to roleplay, then typically they'll be matched with other roleplayers and stuff like that. Basically, like, you know, it kind of takes like, okay, what kind of things do you gravitate towards? We'll try to fit you more with those people. And basically, if you ever want to play with someone, you just party up with them, go to whatever map they're in, and then join that map, and bam. You might be in a different instance, perhaps, to start with, but you can right-click on their portrait and click to join them there, and you're playing with them. As long as one of you isn't in Europe and the other's in America, then, as long as you're both on the North America server, which is where I am, then you can play.
You take the last letter of the previous word and come up with a body part that begins with it. It has to be a body part or organ you can rip out. No repeating. I'll start. Heart.
Sometimes you just hear stuff like this.
Throat. Drink.
I just love the fucking checkmate that was pulled on him like that moment there. The only servers are, I believe, North America and Europe. Or America and Europe, rather. I don't think there's any servers beyond that. For region-wise. So that's the only thing that would potentially get in the way of playing. So yeah, just as long as you make sure to just pick the American servers, then should all be fine. Woo! Gosh, I could just feel like I feel the sleepiness trying to overtake me, but it can't. No, I play on the America one. I play on the America one there. That's what I'm saying. Play on the America one. Why does everyone think that Australians play on the European servers? We have like an extra 400 ping there. Yeah, there we go. Level 10. So, I will mention, this thing here, so you get a message from Tribune, like that, so I'll mention that, I just unlocked weapon swapping, which means that basically you can have 2 sets of weapons equipped. Like, I have a scepter and a pistol here, but oh gosh, pardon me. But I could also have a sword and a torch equipped, or a greatsword, or something like that. And I can switch between the two of them in the middle of combat. And elementalists and engineers can't swap in the middle of combat. They can swap weapons now, but they can't do it in combat. That's due to the fact they have other, like, things going on with weapon swapping and stuff. It would kind of be a bit too powerful in a way. If the so what I'm saying is like elementalists and engineers can't do that kind of swapping, but they have their own things to replace it. Elementalists swap between elements, and engineers have got their engineering kits. Okay, so you can see we have oh, by the way, you can fast travel real quick. Like you just click on a waypoint you've been to, bam, you're there. Costs you like 10 copper. Maximum cost of waypoint from like one end of the world to the other at level 80 is like 8 silver, which is not much. Like that's like that is the most expensive a waypoint travel ever gets, and it's like you can end up getting 2 gold in a day from just doing 3 of the dailies. Just from doing 3 of the daily achievements. And when some of those daily achievements are just like, gather 10 pieces of wood at a certain location, sometimes it can be really easy. Oh, like today isn't a great day for it to me, because it's like, because I've got the full game, I have bounty, because I've got Path of Fire, I mean. I have Bounty Hunter as an option. Swords Embrace would be good, but I doubt people are up for doing it most of the time. And Event Completer is one of the more longer taking ones, because you need to do 4 events at the location. Anyway, we're going to go to Tribune School, the first step of our story, but I'm going to be right back briefly. Just got to go to the toilet. BRB.
I'm selling. Buying?
Imagine if the Flame Legion ever attacked us here.
It would be a good year of warfare. More, maybe.
Alright, I'm back. And what's the I know about their maid?
You made
Ah,
but I think we're the only two
I didn't. I don't see bad in the chat.
briefing at the mustering grounds.
Oh, you meant like in her stream. Duh. Yes, obviously. He's okay. I'm sleepy myself.
At ease, soldier. Damn shame that the Battle of Smokestead nearly wiped out your warband. Without you, Baradin would be stomping our skulls by now.
Yes, Tribune. I owe my survival to Ritlock Brimstone. He held the line until reinforcements came to take out the Duke.
True. Still, Legionnaire Hal was lost in the fighting, so your warband needs a new leader. Congratulations, you're promoted to Legionnaire.
Thank you, Tribune. I'm ready for duty.
I have an operation for you. We have intel that the Flame Legion has
Ah,
infiltrated the
what's
Citadel.
wrong?
Their spies...
Excuse the interruption, Tribune. We have hostiles incoming, ready for battle. Guard Tribune Desert Grave. Blaze out! We're under attack!
Alright. I hope you mean that in only the best way, mate.
Well done, Legionnaire. You're already proving your worth. As for you, Fengar, do you need to go back to the Farrar and relearn basic perimeter security?
Sentries won't mess up again now that they're dead. And, I'll get new ones.
You're lucky I was here, Fengar. The real question is, was this an attack of opportunity, or is the Flame Legion planning something?
I just hope that you're not too angry at us for
All
help
they
for
did was
that.
verify our intel. Their blunders our chance. Here's your mission, Legionnaire. Go
For
to the
helping
Serena
you
Bay
out there.
Tavern and ask about Black Citadel brandy. Your contact will say the barkeep waters it down. I'm told some Flame sympathizers spend their time there. Discover who they are, and find something I can use to derail their plans. Questions?
None. I'll be quick and quiet, Tribune.
Blem. Right. Well, I mean, it wasn't really spending, mate. I had a key. The money was already spent. It was just lying about there. I don't. It's more people to have fun with. By the way, as you can see, even in the city where there is no enemies, you still get rewards for, like, going about and finding all this stuff. Oh, speaking of which, actually, I should show you one of the so one of the things is that whenever you complete a map, oh pardon, whenever you complete a map, you get a bonus reward for completion in addition to all the experience that you get normally. Now, for any area with fighting and stuff, the reward is much better and bigger. Like, you'll get some materials for crafting. Oh, sure. One moment. Ba, 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 ba. There you go, that should be the direct sign up thing for it. But yeah. Hey buddy! Oh my god! 7 people! Ah! But yeah, so as I was saying though, whenever you complete a map, you get a reward, which is a bunch of experience. And in any area of combat, it will be, it will have like a bunch of materials which you'll get, along with like a chance at a Black Lion chest key, or if you don't get a Black Lion chest key, it will be a transmutation charge. And whenever you 100% map complete a city, it guarantees a transmutation charge, and, well, not anything else, but still, a transmutation charge is useful. And cities are pretty easy to 100% complete because there's no enemies there. So there's like 6 cities because there's each of the major races. There's each of the races cities, and then there's also Lion's Arch. So 6 cities each give you a transmutation charge when you 100% them. It's pretty easy 6 transmutation charges to get. Which is also, coincidentally, enough for an entire set of armor. Not weapons, though.
You there, Scrapper. This place have Black Citadel brandy?
Sure, but between you and me, the bartender waters it down.
Around here? I'm surprised he's still alive to do business. Speaking of business, Desert Grave sent me.
I've identified 2 Flame Legion spies inside the tavern. They have the password we need, but we can't attack them inside without starting a free-for-all. If that happens, the spies will use the chaos to make their
Hey,
escape.
beautiful
We'll lose
princess.
them for good. Ideas?
Aww. I love you too, sweetie.
Really? Well, lead on. I want to see this.
It doesn't like trying to show me
Right behind you.
about the stuff with this. Oh, also, one thing I should mention. This isn't super useful a fact here, but it's just a cute little detail. You can pick up stuff which is just lying about and fight with it.
Welcome to the serrated blade. If you cause trouble in here, I'll cut your tail off. Until then, sit anywhere you like.
So I just got a broken bottle in my hand. I could just freaking crack people with it or throw it at them. Some stuff like the Elixir of Heroes is genuinely useful because you drink that shit down and you get temporary invulnerability. Like, that's actually a very useful thing to just pick up. I wonder if there was another thing to do. Like, cause I know one of the ways you can do this, but okay.
Still staring at us. What a pain in the tail. Let's just go out the door very fast.
I've heard that there's apparently methods of farming which can get you like 20 gold an hour or something like that. I know fractals can get you a pretty good amount of money as well. Just in general, like just playing the game will end up accumulating quite a bit of funds. Honestly, I don't really do. Yeah, exactly.
And if they catch us following them?
Then we see if you fight as well as you spy.
Couldn't get anything done. We have to drop by the hideout before we go to the camp. Keep an eye out, right?
Oh gosh.
Time to get to work.
Sorry about all my yawnings. Did I seriously just drop myself into this pit?
Interesting. They're sticking close to the bar. I thought they'd go far afield.
Well, sadly there isn't a merchant class as such, but you can definitely sell your stuff on the trading post.
Burn me. I realize where they're going. Maybe that's why so many workers have been disappearing lately.
I'm trying to think of like if there's anything even remotely like a merchant as a class.
Damn. I was right about the workers. Flame Legion's been killing them off and subbing in shields. Bastards.
And you're reporting in without a kill? There were complications. Besides, we have business here first. Fine. Head on in and get it done. You better hope nobody followed you.
Yeah, about that. See.
Enemy contact.
Let's take
That's cute.
it and see what we can find out.
Here's where we split. Report back to camp, rookie. Hang on. They changed the password again. I forgot it already. I can't keep covering for you. They change it at random, sometimes twice a day. Who can keep track of that? Everybody but you. Fine. But this is the last time. It's burnt so now.
There's the info we need. What do you say? Leave now or take them out?
I say we take them, Legionnaire, quick and quiet.
I like the way you think.
That duel is in our way. Break it down.
Oh yes. I remember way back near the start of it, you'd ask me about like what sort of things do you pick? Like, do you pick your background and stuff like that? And yeah, that's kind of what you do at the start. The questions you're given are based upon which race you pick. So for instance, like I've been going to say, the Char pick a warband that they're part of, which is no warband. Pick a legion they're part of. A warband is the thing that each Char has their own one and stuff. But they pick a legion they're part of, either blood, ash, or iron. They pick what their father was to. Oh, that's right. I mentioned like every class, every race picks like dignity, charm, and stuff like that. You also pick a thing based upon your class, like a piece of equipment. I don't think there's a bard type class yet in the game. Like I'm trying to think of anything a bard like. Like, there's ones that do a sort of supporty kind of thing, but I can't think of any specific bards in it. But like, I don't know. That could always change. There's elite specs which add in kind of like... They add in... basically, it doesn't add in a class, but it gives a trait line which alters a class's mechanics. Oftentimes, like, it's capable of making it feel like a very, very different play experience. And we might end up getting a bard at some point with that. Who knows? But anyway, so the choices, you basically get one thing which is a choice of equipment for your class. But like it just gives you a piece of starting equipment. It's nothing special, honestly, and you'll replace it pretty quick. But then you what's it called? Yeah, you pick the Legion. You also pick what your father was. And then you pick who your one of your like trusted companions, and they'll accompany you in your story missions for a while. And it seems the one I got was Dinky.
Never turn your back on an enemy, a stranger. Tribune
Though, it's funny that you do mention a band, because in the most recent saga of stuff, like in the most recent kind of storyline things, we are introduced to a band that exists in this world. Metal Legion.
Torga, Blood Legion soldiers are missing,
and yes, they are a Char metal band.
The sympathizers at the bar. You tell me what you found there. Is this a bad time, Tribune? Caberea and the new Legionnaire are back from the serrated blade. Hey, hold on. I know this soldier. Fought Barradin with me. Made Legionnaire already? Excellent. Excellent.
I mean, it's not entirely incorrect with it.
Tribune Desert Grave promoted.
Actually,
Smart move.
let me see if I can find a Metal Legion song to play here.
Flame Legion. The serrated blade is the bar I was talking about. What did you find there?
Back off, Brimstone. My operation, my intel. So unless you want to fight over it, I've got agents to debrief. Fengar can show you the way out.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll wait for this conversation to end, and then I'll put on
But you've got a legionnaire
some Metal
respect on the
Legion.
job. Because of that, I'll hold off. For now.
So let's go and turn down the volume now. Oh, I forgot I have a rock outer mode as well, which I unlocked. So, this is music that is actually, like, in the game. This plays, like, in the thing. I mean, kinda, like, you do active, like there's an event that goes on while this music's playing. Hey, baddie. What food is the bat getting? But yeah, like but basically like there's like it's a really fun event thing, honestly, which just it happens. I can't remember. I think it's like every couple of hours in one of the maps with it. So, by the way, Maid, this is one of those things where you can pick your stats. When crafting, you have so much control over your stats. Though, I feel you could still have more. Like, I've put forward the idea of, what if the way you made your gear was you put together your inscription based upon, like, you got to combine a major and, like, 2 minors, or 2 majors and 2 minors if you want to have a 4 stat. And then, like, you combine that all into one inscription, and then you put that inscription into the gear piece. You'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to crafting gear. But, like, that way you'd have absolute 100% control over what stats you wanted to have, as opposed to where you have to go off of sets of stats. But, like, as you can see, you can pick between, you know, having some more damage, having some more defense, or having some more health. I'm going to go with more damage, just because that helps clear things quicker. Yeah, exactly. Your equipment is what's going to determine your stats. And now this here is what I was saying about with, like, learning new skills and such. So, we've just unlocked level 11, so we've unlocked our first ability. As you can see, we have a number of abilities already available here. And this is what I was talking about with the racial skills. So, Chars have the ability to throw out a shrapnel mine. Which, like, as a Char, you can pick to, like, throw out a shrapnel mine. You can let out a battle roar, which, like, gives everyone nearby a bit of a buff. Or you can, like, use a pistol and stuff. None of these are particularly good abilities. They're just neat little things you could add into a different build if you wanted to. But, like, they're not anything special. They're not anything super good, really. So, now, this is where you learn your new stuff here. Your hero training section. And basically what you do is you pick from... There's a number of different kinds of abilities, like... mantra. They're all categorized based upon a certain thing that they have to them, typically. For instance, mantras, the way they work is that they have a long kind of wind-up, like as you can see there. It says, that clock symbol there shows you how long it takes to cast it, and the little like loop is cooldown. So mantras typically have got fairly low cooldowns compared to most abilities, but they take like every single one of them takes 2.25 seconds to cast. Now that's 2.25 seconds during which you're not dodging or getting stunned, or like if you get stunned or anything during that, you've just wasted that time. But after you cast the mantra, you get an immediate effect and then 2 charges of a skill, which you can use instantly with no cast time whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. So what you can do is you can prepare your mantras before a fight, and then once the fight starts up, you like fire off them, and it can be pretty useful in that regard. Like most of Mesmer's stuff is kind of like, we sort of have a theme going on here, but with manipulation and glamour, it's kind of like mantra, illusion, and signet all pretty make sense. But like for instance, illusion here, it does what it says. Everything in illusion summons an illusion, summons a clone or a phantasm which becomes a clone. Everything in a mantra works the same as a mantra. Everything in signet is a signet. But then you have like manipulation where it's like, oh, mirror, reflect projectiles and heal yourself. Okay, cool. Teleport to a location. Alright. Next skill you use mimic is literally just to use a skill again. Illusion of life. Temporarily revive allies, and if they kill something, fully revive them. Okay. Okay, theory. You steal an opponent's buffs and give them your debuffs. Okay, that's cool, but like, well, what's the cohesive theme in this? Mass invincibility. You and your allies are stealthed. Really good ability, but again, there's no theme. Like, I don't like these. Manipulation and glamour are both really good. Like, they both have a lot of great stuff in them, but there's not a whole lot of thematicism to them, it feels. Like, look at glamour here. We have a veil, a stealth wall. Huh. Doesn't that sound familiar to something else? Null field. Create an field of energy that rips boons from foes and cures conditions on allies. Kinda like the inverse of this. Friggin' feedback. Reflect projectiles for 6 seconds. That's not comparative to anything there, but that's still cool. Portal. It's a portal. It's amazing for skipping jumping puzzles. And Time Warp, which is a really freaking powerful move. Quickness is considered like one of the most powerful buffs in the game, if not Alacrity. Like Alacrity and Quickness vie for being the most powerful buffs. No, I'm not criticizing Mesmer's. Like, it's just these two are kind of like, manipulation and glamour are kind of both just miscellaneous. Like, they're both still really good ability sets and stuff. They just kind of both feel like ones that were like, none of these really fit in anywhere else, so we put them here. I don't have anything against them at all, it's just they don't quite fit together cohesively. Like, I could tell you what a mantra build looks like, or what an illusion build looks like. But I couldn't tell you what a manipulation build looks like, or what a glamour build looks like, because they're so kind of miscellaneous that they don't really have a cohesive thing that you work towards with them. Now, signets are something that almost every class in the game has. The only ones that don't are Engineer and Revenant, I believe. And they're really neat. Signets are basically just, so you can basically click to learn them, and then once you learn the signets, you can use them to replace skills down here. Now, the thing that's really neat with signets is that they're passives. So the way signets work is that you have a passive effect from them. So like Signet of Inspiration here, every 10 seconds I get Swiftness and a random boon. And when I activate it, it gives extends the duration of all boons on all allies. Oh, I don't need to be in here anymore. It extends the duration of boons on all of my allies. And basically, when it's activated, that now means it's on cooldown, and while it's on cooldown, you don't get the passive effect anymore. So it's a really neat kind of trade-off sort of situation going on where, like, you get a really quite, like, typically the active on a Signet isn't that strong, but, like, but yeah, it's, like, the active isn't super powerful typically. Like, take a look at, let's take, got that. Hey, bugger off with that. Just gonna, cool. Like, if, let me check my abilities here. So, huh? Yeah, never mind. I'm a liar. I lied. I did. Ignore me. That's a strong heal, actually. Holy shit! Why is the Signet heal so strong? Does it have bad scaling? I need to Google this. Like, why is that so good? Mesmer Guild Wars 2. I need to see what the Mesmer heal skill contributions are. Cause that's so weird to me. Like, cause here's the thing. Typically, Signets do not have a very powerful active effect. The reason why being obviously because, well, they have a passive effect. They don't need a strong active. So, like, this might just be a crazy strong, like, Mesmer thing. Let me check for it. Let me check the ratios on this stuff. Okay, so both of them have the exact same base amount of healing. Ether Feast has a little bit more healing contribution. Basically, there's a thing called healing contribution. And what that is your healing power affects a move more if it has higher heal contribution. Ether Feast has 1.0 heal contribution, which means 100% of your healing power gets added on to Ether Feast. While Signet of the Ether has 0.85 healing contribution, meaning 85% gets added on. But, like, that's still a lot of healing that gives, actually. That's a very, very strong, like, thing. But I also did notice that Ether Feast has a 20-second cooldown, this has a 30-second cooldown, so, you know, and this has 15 seconds, so, you know, and that's 10 seconds and stuff. So all of them have their own benefits to them, basically. There is no definitive, this is the best healing skill. But mantras are really good for when you're starting out the game. Because, you know, when you're starting out, you're still learning. You're probably getting used to the fact that you're getting these new abilities and stuff. And mantras help make things easier for you because you don't have to worry about using mantras. Not mantras. You don't have to worry about using mantras. Don't try mantras straight out the gate. Signets make things easier for you because you don't have to worry about activating them. They just kind of passively help you. And that's really neat. Oh, okay. Sorry, dears, but I've just gotten a message from my roommate that it is time for me to go and pick him up. So, that's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you, all of you lovelies, for coming in and watching. Sorry if I sounded really low chill and tired, low key and tired and stuff tonight, but you know, it's 12:17 a.m. Not looking forward to driving with this, but it's not a long trip. I should be fine. I'm good at keeping myself awake anyway. I always have the car super... I always have the car super cold to keep myself awake whenever I'm feeling sleepy. Oh, yeah, I'm more than glad to, mate. And I really, really hope that you'll end up enjoying it. Yeah. I wouldn't have been up awake this late if I could help it, but, you know. Gotta... Otherwise, they'll be at the train station and with no way to get home, and or they'd have to drink drive, so that's not a great idea. Anyway. Ciao, you lovelies. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Most likely it's day for most of you, but for me it's night. So if you're like, or if you're in Australia like me and just staying up late for some reason, or just have a nocturnal time zone like most people seem to do, it seems. Nocturnal time zone, nocturnal sleep pattern, whatever. Love you, baddie, and hope you all have wonderful days or nights. Ciao for now.